So this is uh I kind of started to go through some of the Christmas cards and some of the things that I had from the last couple of years to put in, and it was really nice. It was a real nice, you know, traveling. Really nice to travel back in time. I found a whole bunch of tissue papers and things that I had, and I want to be able to use them up. I don't have, and I'm trying not to have, a ton of Christmas stuff this year, new. I haven't bought a bunch of it. So I'm trying to use up some of the wrapping papers and tissue papers from last year. And I'm going to have wrapping paper and stuff to add. And I'm going to have, different memory type things to add. But I definitely have plenty of, uh, background type material. I like to use a glue stick sometimes with napkins or tissue paper. It's just quicker, and with the tissue paper having just a tiny bit of a glossy finish, a thicker, glossier finish, it glues down pretty nice with the glue stick. And that was just a scrap of wrapping paper I had in my stash of stuff. I tried to sort it out, biggest to smallest, but you know how that goes. So I love this shiny wrapping paper though. It's like a shiny plaid, the background. I really enjoy that. I spend some time just kind of going through stuff because it's like a blast from the past for me. So I have little cards that were given to my daughter, and I have some of her um, Christmas projects from school. And this was something, actually, I found this at a thrift store. And it has, like a whole kit, I'm assuming, to make Christmas tags. Or maybe it's for cards. I don't know. I threw the package out. But I have used some of the little embellishments, and it has the little, you know, uh, it has the little twine wrapped around a card there. So I have some extra. Not like I need any more red, but I got it. I'll use it. I really do. I really do enjoy when I like when I find stuff like this at thrift stores. It just makes it, it's just fun to use things that you didn't plan for. And one thing for sure at a thrift store is you can find things you didn't plan on finding. So I got fed up trying to find the end of it because it was definitely put on by a machine, it wasn't done by hand, so the end was tied in pretty severely, but I that had a little hole in it, so why not put a string through it and have the string hanging off like that. And it's just one more thing to hang off the edge of the book, a nice little string to hang out there and add some interest to my book page, the ends of my books. This is a card. It's actually, it's not to anybody. It is a random card that I must have gotten in some ephemera, and it's not to anybody I know anyway. And it is a whole story in that card. Not the one I have with the camels there, but that Happy Holidays one. I don't know who it's to, but uh, it's obviously elderly people because the one woman says, "I'm so glad, to see that you're still alive." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what is this madness?" So, I had to put it in there because, it's not mine, so it's just some random card. So it needed to be in there. I needed to have some random person's story in my Christmas journal. This little camel card, though, this is from my aunt. I love the dimensional things, like, and I know they're really easy to make. You can just use a little piece of fun foam behind something. I just forget. I just forget to do that. So, y'all got to remind me next time, okay? So yeah, that's the card. It's like a whole story written in there. And it's just really, really funny. It's somebody updating someone else on their their life. Obviously a long life since they're excited that each other is still alive. That was an ornament from Lily in first grade, maybe. Maybe that was first grade. I don't know. Could have been kindergarten. But looks like first grade to me, right? And they do like Christmas around the world type stuff for the younger kids. So I got to volunteer a few times. Not a lot because of COVID, but Vera may start school next year, so I'll have more opportunities. But you volunteer and you help the kids. You help the kids with a Christmas craft. So I wrote down what this is, and I think I put first grade. Yep, first grade. A dreidel by Lillian. I did it with my cheapo white China pen. Apparently it dries pretty quick. Oh, I think I put the random card on this page. Sorry, spoiler alert. One of my cards. I think I put a couple of them in here, a couple of the different kinds. But I used my own die cuts. That card size isn't your average card size because it's a 6x6. I'm sorry, a 6x12 because I just took scrapbook paper that I had and cut it in half. I know that that's not typical, but I'm not typical, so it worked out beautifully for, a strange person like me. But if I make cards in the future, I'll make them a normal size. This was a card made for me. I got a lot of really great homemade cards over the last couple years. I think the last 2 years I've gotten the most, handmade Christmas cards. That's from, I think that one is from Elisa, a friend of mine. She sent me a tin with peppermint bark in it, I believe, and the girls liked it. And it was really nice. Another Elisa. I was trying to keep the Elisas together, I think, but it didn't work out, so that Elisa had to get her own page with my favorite tissue paper backing. As you can see, I just love that paper. I might send some pieces of it with my Christmas cards this year, which I haven't sent out yet, so calm down. They're coming in the mail. Well, the ones with the kids' pictures are, and then I'll send some little crafty bits to some of my crafty people who get Christmas cards. That was a little minion card Lily had gotten from a classmate. I'll have to send a picture. I'm friends with his mom on Facebook, so I'll have to send her a picture of it and say, remember when Camden made this? Or you sent these in. So I couldn't find any kind of hole puncher, so the big bite had to come out. My big crocodile. And I have some things too to put in from this year's Christmas events, and it's going to be nice because I have some things from school and some pictures. For the first time, I printed out pictures, even though they came out kind of lousy, but it must have just been the paper I used, and I'll still use them. They'll be fine for what I need. But I have a lot of cards, a lot of stuff to glue in and tape in and add to. And this is just kind of a video of me just going along. One thing I don't have a lot of. Excuse me. Why do I yawn when I make these voiceovers? One thing I don't have a lot of is Christmas washi. I don't know why. I do know why. I don't gravitate towards washi tape when I am looking for things, because I really have a love-hate relationship with washi, and usually it airs more on the side of hatred, except for that green one. That is the Scotch brand washi tape. I get it from a local place here, and I do like that. That washi tape stays stuck, but I get so tired of it not staying stuck, and I know it's not supposed to stay stuck, but I need things that stick, okay? That's what I'm in it for. That's some wrapping paper I actually got this year at Goodwill. One thing I started doing too was gluing the envelopes closed. Here I go again, yawning. Y'all are making me yawn. I've been gluing envelopes closed and using them as the pocket, as the tuck spot to put cards or things in. especially if the envelope is a pretty color or is embellished nicely, you know, for Christmas time. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to embellish some more things. All these things, you know, I wanted to try and keep things together from people, from Happy Mail that I got and Christmas cards that I got. I wanted to try and, you know, kind of make a page for each person. So this came from a friend of mine who lives about an hour and a half away in Virginia, and she has children. I think her daughter is a little bit older than mine, and I think every year that they have sent me a card. It started because we were swap partners in a group a while back, and then we just stayed in touch, even though it's not a whole lot. We don't talk every single day, but the Christmas card thing is nice, and of course I'll send her one this year too. And that wrapping paper just looks perfect. And the little thing she gave me, it is like a paper cluster, and it's on the green paper you see there. It almost feels like a construction paper or a handmade paper. I've come across some of it, you know, when I buy paper lots from thrift stores and stuff. I have come across some of that feeling paper. It's definitely a different texture than most scrapbook paper. That washi tape, I am glad it's not going to stick because I'll need her address. I don't remember if I wrote her address down, but so that's just to cover up her address to put in here, so I can flip through this and you don't see the address every 10 seconds pop up. And of course, you know, you got to re-glue around the edges. I'm sorry about my big fat head. I tried to edit out some of my big fat head spots, but you know, had to re-crumple. And I like the way this red goes on to these crinkle pages. It's a very nice saturated color, so I'm pretty happy with the way that stuff turned out. And some of the envelopes really did have a lot of interesting. The stamping and the postmark, you know, is a little wreath. I really like that. And the stickers people included. So I was able to create Julia her own little spread to enjoy the things that she sent to me for Christmas. From her and her children. And I'm looking through stuff. You know, I do a lot of that. The day I made this video, actually, I was suffering from a really bad headache. And I kind of was just doing this just to keep my hands busy, but let my mind just kind of rest. And this worked out really nice because what I like to do, and I've mentioned this before when I'm glue booking, is I like to take things and match them up like a puzzle. So I do it as if it was a puzzle and see where things fit. And that's what I spent my time doing here, is seeing where cards fit and seeing where little embellishments fit. Those were some of the sheets of, dots and whatever that you get from Dollar Tree in the garden section. I think it's the floral stuff, right? I haven't looked for them, so I haven't noticed them in a while, but I found my stash of them. Oh, I had them right here in between two of my little containers on my desk, so it's like, oh yeah, look at me, how great. I forgot they were there, and they were right in front of me the whole time. So, gonna start using those. I got those in with some of my Christmas stuff now. Maybe I'll actually use them. We'll see. That's some wrapping paper we got last year. Or actually, that was from the year before. From Granny, because Granny didn't send a box last year because she was sick with the Rona. And she ended up spending some time in the hospital with it. But she's all right now, and everything is good. So she usually sends down a big box of goodies for the kids. So that's where that wrapping paper comes from. It's a really nice quality, too. It's like really strong. wrapping paper, really thick, sturdy stuff. So if I had big pieces of it, I would die cut it even, because it's like really nice stuff. And, you know, I have all these pieces of scrapbook paper that were from, you know, past journals and stuff where I don't use the full 12 by 12 sheets, so I got left with these big strips. So finding places to tuck those in and use up some of those, because I have other Christmas scrapbook paper to use. This is a card from my grandmother, and it is obviously older. It is like the night before Christmas, and then the little mouse. At first I didn't understand it because it's got the holes in the tree, and I thought, what's supposed to be showing through those holes? But it was for the little mousie. So I thought that card was really cute. So, yeah, I really enjoyed the card that she sent. She usually sends me older cards every year, like last year, I think, or I'm sorry, in the last journal that I did a few years back, she had sent me a card for Christmas that my aunt made when she was a kid. I think she might have been in high school or something. She put in the card, oh, you know, your Aunt Erin made this card, and now I'm sending it to you. And I thought it was really cute, and it was a really sweet card, and it had what looked like die cuts of, you know, a Christmas tree, and it was really just a cute card. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one, because I have some washi that I could use that could be considered Christmassy, but I can't find it. So I'm using this really thin white and gold washi tape that's like I bought when I was making my homemade planners, and I use that for to make rows and columns with those skinny ones, but they don't work. I mean, they don't stick to anything. You know, I had to glue them and everything I've done. So that card's probably going to fall out at some point. And this one here comes from my aunt, so it worked out perfectly, because I have the card from my grandmother on one side and the card from my aunt on the other side. So just keeping the family together, even though I put my other aunts in the beginning of the book where the, you know, the one with the camels on it. But again, I take all the pieces off of this envelope that I think are usable, you know, and waste not, want not, so I'm trying to keep all my Christmas crap together. And I was debating on whether or not to keep that part, and as you can see, I went ahead and kept that part. So, never, you know, always double check, because they have some gorgeous envelopes out there, and if you're getting Christmas stuff from friends in the community, a lot of them decorate their envelopes. I don't. I'll stamp this year, and I'll do something on them. I usually don't, though, because I seem to have no luck with envelopes that I decorate getting to their destination. So I'm gun shy, because, you know, I waste a stamp, and, you know, most of the time they don't send it back to me. It doesn't come back. It just gets lost in the abyss of the mail, and then the dump, I'm sure. It ends up in a landfill. Might not mean anything to those people, but to us paper people, we like the paper memories. We like the tangible, you know, photographs and images and artwork that other people make. We like that stuff. So I tend to keep the envelopes plain, and then I add little goodies into my Christmas cards for my crafty people. My family don't care about that stuff, but my crafty family, they care. So I try and include, I have some little embellishments. I might make some little die cuts or something with some of my pretty scrapbook paper and send that out this year. I don't know. I have I bought the big Martha Stewart snowflake punch, and I can use that one. Plus I have a smaller snowflake punch that I could use. So I pulled out the StazOn ink here, and I, you know, to add a little bit of green, since the green that was on there was kind of dark. It was kind of more like an army green. Alright, like the fourth time I'm doing this section of the voiceover, I used whatever ink I could grab to distress the edges, because this was the piece of paper that was when I tore it, this was the piece that went away from me. If you tear towards you, you don't get the little white edge, but if you tear away from you, you do. And I'm not going to waste it, so of course I'm going to use it and, you know, stick it in right there. And the brown edges look nice against the green, I think, even though you might not see it well in these, in the video. It's kind of far away, but it's nice. Trust me. You can trust me on that. And, you know, getting to use up some of that paper for things. And, you know, I saved a lot of really great envelopes. So never underestimate a good envelope with a good paper, with good color. I said it a million times. But I do a lot of stuff with envelopes in this video. And this is a card that came from my friend. We have seen cards from her, from Jill. She always gets a beautiful card every year. She's very good at that stuff. She is also a very talented artist. And she has always been. I've known her since high school, and she was phenomenal then, and she has just gotten better. And I actually have a piece of her artwork that she made when I was pregnant. She made it as a baby shower gift, and she made it for Lillian. So once the girls' bedroom is finished, I will be able to put that up there, hang it up in there. So there's my card from Jill, her two-tone ink, and the card, of course, is just beautiful, as is most of the things Jill sends. Here's my Trish card. Love her cards. Love seeing the things that she makes. She's a very talented card maker. This is some of my napkin poop that I stamp on. This is from a couple years ago. But I will have a video coming out where I do some updated napkin poop stamping. So always keep your whites, man. Always keep your whites. They are handy. I have a giant bag of whites down here. I'm afraid I'll run out. I'm afraid I'll lose some of my stash. But yeah, love my stamped napkin poop. And the girl stamped with me the other night too when I was doing my napkin poop, so I got a whole slew of stamped things now. And I try to debate if, you know, where I want to put Trisha's card, because it is beautiful. And I try and find, you know, a washi tape that will work. So I put some glue down to prime this one to tell it that it's going to stay put. But I love to be able to, I love flipping. So hopefully the washi tape stays with the glue. I have no idea. No idea what's going to happen. Again, my voiceover screwed up, so I'm back. I'm back to try again. I paid for this. I paid for this, you know, this app to edit videos, and it's just not working for me. This comes from a friend, Julie. I'm sure you'll watch this video. And Julia, you'll see this page that I do with some of your goodies. She sent me a whole bunch of stuff. I still have some left over that I can put in other places, so I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited to use more of her stuff. And I believe I'm drinking hot cocoa. I've been kind of drinking some hot cocoa at night. It's been really hitting the spot. So I bought some on Amazon. I didn't realize I was buying so much, but I bought some hot cocoa from Land O'Lakes. It is French vanilla. If somebody wants the link, I'll send you the link for that, where I got it. And it's actually really good. It's just really smooth and nice. And I used to drink it when I was pregnant with Lily, because I went on a hot cocoa bender because I was pregnant with her in the winter time, my second trimester. And it would just really hit the spot. The Land O'Lakes one is really good. All the Land O'Lakes ones I've tried are really good. So, Julia sent me a bunch of lovely stickers and papers and coloring, bits of coloring pages that I'm definitely going to use in a lot of different places. I tend to forget to use stickers, so that's why it's kind of, I'm kind of trying to use them on this page so that I don't forget to use them later on. And I love the little Santa card. I love his face. I love how, I love the style of the illustrating. And then this was a tree. So I kind of just go around it real quick.
Yeah, why?
And
well, I knew he wasn't doing good.
So that I can use it. It's been like a couple of weeks since I made this video. So as I'm doing the voiceover, this is like,
I already said something to Kendra about it.
It's like all new to me again. It's like Christmas. And I have to watch my time because I tend to just talk right out the end of my video and not have any kind of exit commentary. But it looks like I'm good for now. So yeah, this is like a nice thick heavy duty cardstock too, so it works out really nicely. And I'll probably color it at some point in my life, since it's like a coloring page. But I love all the Happy Mail. I love all the things that I get from everybody for Christmas. I love to incorporate them into all of my pages and my Christmas journal. And if you've seen my Flip Through Fridays, I love to flip through them also. I love to flip through the things that I have made and the things that I have done. And catalogs, yes. I thought I used the cookie Christmas tree instead. Yes, I have the cookie Christmas tree. The other one I'm sure I'll color in. Probably with my pens and not my pencils. I'll probably use like those gel pen things that because it gives a lot richer color. And I like to color with the gel pens. So I have all those pieces. I just put them back in there so that I can use them. Here's another one of the Christmas cards that I made. Again, my funky size card because I didn't want to waste any paper. Because I do feel like card making, when you use any kind of standard size cardstock, I mean, what do you do with those scraps? Can you like turn them into another card? I would love to see first of all, what sizes people use to make cards. And second of all, what they do when they use a standard size piece of paper, what they do with their scrap pieces of cardstock. Because it's not like cardstock is something you can easily collage with, like just a piece of scrapbook paper. Cardstock is thicker, so it bulks things up when you collage with it.
Tamagotchi. Yeah, but you can call it whatever you want.
And I think this one was that one is from Jean. I love all her washi tape. You will see that I use it. I use that envelope with all of her washi tape. Jean always sends some fun goodies too. We are very fortunate in this crafty community to have each other and to, you have something to look forward to at the holidays, and you can share a little bit of cheer and joy by just sending a few little paper items to somebody, and it really makes their whole day. And that's what I enjoy about our crafting community, is that first of all, it doesn't take much to make us happy. Nobody has to send me a fruit basket or nothing. You send me a couple little fussy cuts or a couple little magazine pages or scrapbook cutouts or something, and I'm happy. I'm good to go. And that's what I like. It's, the expectations aren't enormous because the things that we send out are things that everybody in our community loves and uses. So that page, I had to add a little bit more color. So I, went through with my StazOn green which is really, I love StazOn ink. It's definitely my favorite ink. I just wish they had more colors. But I think they come out with colors every now and then, so I'll just have to keep up on buying them. And this is a metallic tissue paper, which is pretty, I think it's pretty cool. And of course, I forgot I had it. So it's nice to get some out and use it up. And I do all things wrong. I glue in the crease of the book. You're not supposed to. That's like a big taboo. Well, I do it. In my composition books, there are no limits to what I'll glue and what I'll do. What I'll do, what I'll glue, and what I'll glue do. So I love the metallic look of the silver paper. And I like how crinkly it gets due to the crinkly page underneath it. It adds, some texture to it. I like the crinkling pages. That is one thing I enjoy doing. And that I enjoy hearing whenever I'm working on it. Just listening to those pages crunch and crinkle around. So there's my amazing envelope with all that terrific washi tape on the back that I then turn into a part of the artwork to go on there. And it will also house her card. So I had to unglue my fingers because I have a lot of glue on that. But look at all these little pictures. She sent me this little tuck square out of scrapbook paper that I thought was really cute. And it's like really sturdy. It was definitely a thicker scrapbook paper, so it's really a sturdy square. And those pages there, I just watched a video where she was looking through her journals from the last few years, and she showed some of those pages from a book she had. So I got some of the pages, she sent me some of those in Happy Mail, which I thought was great. And I end up journaling on one of them, and I will probably journal on the rest of them at some point. But I put them in my useless pocket in the front of the book. The pocket I was making to add all my goodies. Well, I didn't account for space, and I don't know why I forgot to do that, because it's common sense, but I forgot, So I try to use this jute, and it's like a real pain to use. And I don't know about you, but jute really gets my allergies going, and it really makes me itch. So I try to not screw up when I'm using it. My body just doesn't like it. I don't know. So I grabbed my twine instead that I got with my little kit there. Just kidding. I grabbed the red twine I have on a roll. I was probably looking for the thinnest because the hole is so small, and I'm sure that was my thinnest twine. And a little tip, something that I do, I will glue the end, see? I put some glue on the end, and then I flatten it out, and it hardens it. Like how the ends of a sweatshirt strings are, that's what it does. It hardens it up and makes it easier to go through holes and, to string something onto it. I really enjoy, I really love all the little pieces that I get. And the buttons, that thing there is a button. I don't think I'm able to fit anything through it, so it just kind of stays. I do have thinner string, and I'm sure I will start using it in a lot more of these projects, if I can remember. But I love all the little Happy Mail pieces that I get. And I love hanging strings and things out of my strings and tabs and ribbons and stuff out of my projects. I hope you enjoyed hanging out and going through this, even though I'm babbling and rambling about. I probably didn't make any sense at all in this, because I'm getting over a really bad headache also today, like I was when I filmed this video. I've been getting some migraines that are pretty brutal, and today I'm just really wiped out. So I might actually go lay down after I finish this. Driving me crazy, getting these headaches like this. Sometimes I wonder if it's from the barometric pressure like some people get. That might be the case, because yesterday was pretty lousy out. But then there's days I get them and it's not lousy out, so I just have no clue. I have no clue what brings them on. But yesterday was really bad, and today my stomach is still bothering me. You know, I still feel kind of sick to my stomach, and I'm just really tired. And my daughter just said she wants a snack, even though she hasn't had lunch yet, so that'll be exciting to try and, barter with her and explain to her why she needs to eat lunch first. So I kind of flipped through here and show you some of the little things we accomplished. And of course I have that extra stuff there from Julie, and I still have lots and lots of pages to go. Here's my useless pocket. So I'm going to take my big Jean Bainey cards and put them in there. Nice and large enough to write on. And thank you all for hanging out. Hope to see you soon.